Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Toy Brigade, where we're going to be looking at Macross toys and other toys. Well, today we're going to be looking at the VF-1D, the new DX that just came out like 2 weeks ago. And joining me is Project 03, Brandon, and B from Kongs R Us. So, hey, guys.
What's going on, Alex? Hey,
Hey, what's up?
Brandon.
What's up, B?
And
What's up,
Godzilla's
Axel?
with us too. I mean,
Godzilla. How could I forget?
Are we talking
Yeah.
Godzilla too?
Well,
He's just
Godzilla
here to
is
make
the
sure everything's
guest.
okay.
Brandon is the sidekick.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's the creative director right here.
Nice.
Well, he thinks he is.
All right, so we got the VF-1D a couple of weeks ago, but B, you just got it this week and you still haven't opened it.
I did. I've had it in my hand for about a week now, and I've gotten to the point where I have a lot of stuff. So as much as I want to bust it open right away, I'm meticulously even thinking about where am I going to put this thing first off. But it's beautiful. The box looks beautiful. And I'm waiting to open it live with you guys.
All right, yeah. Why don't we give you the stage? I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna make you bigger right on the stream. Okay, that's not working. There you go. All right, we'll let you take center stage.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm gonna unbox the VF-1D that I have. So I have my camera here, but I have this side camera that I'll just jump on here so you guys can see this right here. So this is the VF-1D box for the DX, and I have some little guest stars here too. These are 148 super happy potty 3D printed models that EXO made. So I thought these would be cool to show off in addition to it too.
They didn't come with the box? They didn't come inside the box?
It didn't come inside the box. Look at these. I mean, these would be amazing to come inside the box, but the detail on these looks fantastic. So these would be cool. But I love this set. Alex, you did a super job printing these and painting them, but they look fantastic. But
Cool,
fun
man,
little
thanks.
accessories.
Yeah.
And the other reason why I was hesitant for even opening this up was because I didn't have much demand for wanting a 1D, because I'll even show off another EXO custom right now. It's this guy right here, the 148 Yamato conversion kit that Alex did with the broken arm and this custom sculpt here. It's just a fantastic figure that I've loved my Yamato 1D custom that Alex did. So as much as I love this DX and was excited to open it, I didn't have as much FOMO about getting it because I had this version of it. But
well, let's look at that later.
yes, we'll look at it later. But okay, it was just in my hand. I was showing some other custom stuff. Let's get into the unboxing of the 1D.
Yeah.
But the box itself, what do you guys think of the artwork? I mean, it's changed a little bit from the other DXs too, right? Like in terms of the look, it's not. It looks like more graphically done than the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. What about you, Brandon?
I like the box. I mean, just the print quality of it, and they're also they're standardizing them, I guess is the word, for each one. So it's with all the it's broken down into two colors. You have the primary color and the secondary color of the Valkyrie on each box.
Yeah.
So with this one, it's orange and white, and I don't even have my others here. So the black Max was really nice, blue and white.
Yeah.
The Hikaru was red, white, and the Roy is still the best one. It's the black and yellow.
I just like how they do the gloss separate too, from like the
Yep.
matte to the gloss finish. It's just little details like that that make the DX line just freaking awesome. But yeah, that's the box. I didn't show the backside for those that wanted to see the backside of it. It's pretty awesome there. Oh, sorry.
Part of me was surprised
there.
when they released the VF-1DX box, because when they were releasing the VF-31 boxes, they had the shoebox style opening, because they went back to the normal regular side load box.
That's right. It has the warning, right? What's the beware of blast, or what was it?
It was just a cover that just said "Take off before flight."
Oh, okay.
That, strip on it. I really like that box, but I'm guessing overall for production, it was probably more expensive to make.
Yeah.
Oh, the heft of this feels so good. I mean, just picking it up. And the first thing I picked up was the 1D itself, but I know that you were mostly interested in this guy as an accessory, right?
At first, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this looks fantastic. But you see in the packaging, you have the 1D, but I think this is the feature that most people were pretty excited about, is getting like a pre-made toy fan racer. But a little controversial in terms of size, but looking pretty good in terms of sculpt and details.
Yeah,
otherwise.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
You guys don't sniff the toy when you take it out? I like the plastic smell.
Somebody's an addict.
That's
Are
another
you
guy,
are
right?
you a
Mecha
mecha addict, Brandon? Is that it?
No, no, I'm not a
Somebody's a
mecha addict, but I know someone who is.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Oh, it's interesting that you have the pilot that sits, but then the Minmay figure is like it's
Yeah.
it's like this. Does this fit into the cockpit too?
No, it's
No,
only
not at
for the
all.
fist.
Yeah, it's only for the fist. Okay, because I guess she didn't sit in the cockpit normally, so
She
does it make
did.
sense for she did? So there's no secondary figure for that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So the VF-1D, the Arcadia or Yamato Minmay, actually fits in there perfectly with the
Almost.
with the 148. Well, not like it doesn't sit in there comfortably, but like size wise, look at that. Right? That's a 148 figure next to a DX figure.
Yeah,
Look at the difference.
I don't know where the scaling comes into play with this, but this when you measured this and you created this 3D print scale, this is true 148 size.
Yeah, that's to the actual height of Hikaru given in the perfect memory, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his height.
If he's a little baby, it kind of fits.
Look at that. That's a big baby. It's giant.
That's a big baby. Yeah, it's one of the first things I always do is just put the pilot inside. And I guess from the Minmay figure, even these Minmay figures, like you can put them side by side. That's your 148 Minmay figure, and then this is the 148 kind of holding figure. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Those
tiny.
scales are so interesting. It does say 148, right? But I mean, how do you feel about like the Valkyrie itself is 148, but is that weird to have the figures smaller than they should be?
It is weird to me.
It's a little weird. I mean, I'm guessing that they're just kind of, how should I take, liberties so that you know, it's that's all I can really say.
Yeah, you can't complain about these DX. We had another show. I was talking to Chad and Celia about it. Look, with the fan racer, I was saying, you know, it's kind of underwhelming to open up the box and have like a little tiny fan racer when I was expecting a 148.
Yeah,
but I'm not complaining because that thing's beautiful, right?
Yeah,
like all those
it is
markings.
a really nice figure. And when I first took it out, I didn't even take out the 1D. I just grabbed the fan racer, pulled it out, and I was, swooshing it around. And then I started looking at it. And then when I placed it back in the plastic cradle, and then I put it right along the nose from the nose to the there. Then I was like, wait a minute, this thing looks a little smaller than I thought it would. But yeah,
the details on the Tampo has always been really impressive on everything they put on here. You don't need to add any stickers. You don't need to do anything else. It's just already there. It's beautifully printed on. And I think just the quality of the feel, every time I've opened one of these, I don't know if there's been a lot of QC issues across the different ones. Have you seen anybody ever report any QC issues?
I will talk about that a little later.
Yeah? Okay, well, cool. I've not experienced anything just yet, but otherwise...
nothing major, but I've seen some strange inconsistencies.
With the VF-1D or overall with the DX?
With the 1D is the one it was. I noticed some. Well, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, there's one thing I did notice.
I will mention that the first release, the 1J, right where you open the nose, that one would stay open a little bit for the 1J, I think, and then they fixed it. And that's the only QC issue that I remember.
And well, I'll talk about the other QC I noticed with in just general. It's the swing arm. There's that clip that clips into the lower fuselage to lock the legs into place. There's that gray piece. Yeah. So with the 1J, it was a little. It didn't clip in strong enough.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when the Max came out, the clip held a lot better. Yeah. And then all the every one after that, the clips held pretty well. The 1J was like the weakest one. I wouldn't say weak, but it didn't hold as well. Like you could just move it and it would pop versus like the Max 1A. It once you clip it in, it pretty much stayed there unless you kind of worked it from there. the Hikaru 1S was the same too, where it clipped in really well, but the 1J was just a little loose. The tolerance wasn't as good, but now with the rest of them, they're all tight from there.
And they were expecting it to be tight because they gave you that little tool to just kind of like pry it open.
Yeah, because it gives. Well, the little pull I think was to pry open the clip so that way you could take the swing bar out of it, not necessarily pry it out. But I'm talking about where it clips into the back of the
fuselage. When it goes into the nose.
Yeah, when it goes into the nose, that little clip is not as good on the 1J versus every subsequent release. Yeah,
you see,
I've noticed it because I had to, transform each one and take pictures of each one.
You have some in-depth knowledge, Brandon. I'm just gonna start playing with my toys while you guys keep talking.
Yeah, are we done with the unboxing?
I think so. I'm just playing with some accessories now, and I like the stand that it comes with too. I just love things.
Why don't you talk about the accessories while you're looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that kind of surprised me is that they still have the different versions of hands from the movie to TV series. So I'm kind of curious about, because I don't think these hands ever existed in the movie series, right? For
the TV,
the TV version, right? Because this is a TV series. But other than that, like everything else looks the same. I'm surprised. Like I like the stand that they included for this, and I was asking you before, does it come with landing gears? And I was like, oh, as long as it has a stand or something you could put next to it, makes it look nice. But I'm sad that they didn't come with two Hikarus, because if you have one in here, I guess it doesn't make sense to have two in there. But now I'm like, it's missing a pilot, right? Like I need a second pilot to put in here, even though it's like the same person in either one. But that's the other kind of gripe that I would have in terms of accessories.
You could make a difference, one with helmet and one without helmet.
Exactly.
And for display purposes.
Exactly.
I bet you the 160 Yamato pilot will fit in there perfectly.
Yeah, it does. I tried.
It does? No, I mean the one that came with the fan racer, exactly that you're describing, without the helmet. I bet you that goes right in there.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh, you do have it?
No, I don't have that one, but the 160th figure I pulled from my 1D, the Yamato 1D, fits in perfectly in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's 1D figures. I want to make 148 figures that fit in there.
This is nice. There's a lot of good detail on this right here. So if you have it displayed in Batroid, very nice detail.
Yeah. I really like it, but yet I'm disappointed with that thing too.
Why?
Because it's a two-seater. I was hoping that I could take off the top portion and turn it into a single seat, so I could use it to display on. I could photograph and display with the other VF1s, so that way I could do that as well. But nope.
I think a lot of 3D printing artists will make up for all that later on.
Hey B, do we know anyone who does 3D printing?
I know a guy that has a resin printer on the stream, and I have this really baby tiny one.
Yeah. Do we know anybody? I guess I'll check around.
Check your sources. I don't know about this guy though.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm just gonna fumble around just getting this on display, because that's pretty much all I do when I open these up. I will open it up, put it on a display stand, and then I will search for a place. And I still can't believe they don't come with missiles. I don't know, the 1D didn't come with missiles though, so that's okay. But I don't think I have. I never bought the 148 missile accessory pack for any of the other ones.
I bought one.
Just one?
Yeah.
I was still cheap in.
I'm not a missile fan.
Yeah,
because you put the old ones, the Yamato.
I did. I stuck some Yamato ones on here, and they looked fantastic. So I didn't complain. All right, so there she is on a display stand, beautifully there. Curious that they like use different colors for this. This one's clear and this is black. That's the only other feedback that I have. It's like, be consistent on your stuff, but looks nice. I have to find some good display stuff, and here you are with your 148 figures. Outside next to it. There she is. Love it.
So Brandon, what's your overall take on the 1D? Is there any differences from the other DXs?
First off, let me just level set here, and people will hate me for this. I never liked the 1D. I never did.
All right. Well, thanks for having you.
No, I mean, it wasn't my favorite one of all, but overall, I really did like it because compared to, I did a shot with all three, the HMR, the 160th Yamato, and the 148 Bondi altogether. And the one thing that really stood out to me was just the coloration on the Bondi was really nice. I mean, overall, it wasn't. If you've ever seen the Yamato VF-1D, the beige has this weird like glowing quality. Do you know what I mean? Where the
On the 160?
beige is really on the 160th, where it's really bright, where it looks kind of
Go
the
grab one.
saturation was turned up pretty high.
Let's look at examples. I'll go grab it.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Versus the Bondi one feels a little more muted, which looks better to me. Looks like it's a real aircraft versus the 1D has a slight brightness to it, which kind of makes it look, again, like toy or plasticky. But with the 1D, the 148 1D, the finish is a lot nicer, so it looks better to me.
Yeah, the color is a lot better.
Yeah, and it kind of falls in between the HMR and the Yamato in color wise. Like the Yamato 160th is a really bright beige, I guess is called a vibrant beige, and the HMR is kind of like a more dull, and the 148 falls right in between the color scheme of both.
That is a bright orange, if you will.
Yep.
So.
The orange, and then if you look at the beige, it has this kind of like orangey quality to it versus I guess it's also because it's the Bondi has a matte finish, the stronger matte finish.
Yeah, for sure. This is the 160. I don't remember if this was it Yamato or Arcadia when this one came out?
Yamato.
Was it Yamato? Okay, yeah. The orange is super bright, and
the orange is really bright on that thing compared to the.
Very bright.
But they both look good, so.
They do. They do.
I mean, even though I didn't like the 140, like the 1D, I ended up buying a 160th 1D anyway. So
fun toys. And now that you have them in different scales, we can display them in different modes and all sorts of things. I got my HMR right here too, which I like the fact that even the HMR has this little thing coming out the back too. Like that was freaking awesome for the really tiny scale.
Now we have a VF-1D Inception right now.
I know, so many different versions of the toy here, but what can you do? You got to collect them all, right? Isn't that the goal of this show, to get people to buy them all?
Yep. And overall, just to finish up, is like as compared to all the other lines, like there are improvements on it. Like the joints are really tight, most of them. I did notice with the leg swivel in Gerwalk mode, where swiveling, it's a little on the loose side for mine at least. And the landing gear I've noticed across the board is that, again, with all of the ones I have is one side never fully indents in. You know how when you deploy the landing gear and it locks into place, there's always one side that doesn't lock very well, and it always kind of shifts back when you roll it. But overall, just very minor things. And I'll tell you more about the issue I found with mine. Should I talk about it now, or should we wait until later?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just I'm muting myself because I'm transforming it. Since B already has his in fighter mode, I'm putting mine in Battleroid. So go ahead and.
Okay. So the one thing I did notice with mine was when you on the chest portion, when it transforms into Battleroid mode, the chest piece where the two halves kind of sort of fold over, it was trying to untab that took a little more effort than usual as compared to the others. So then when trying to transform it back into fighter mode, I noticed that with mine it took a little more effort as well. Like there's a certain amount, each one of us knows, like when you transform something, there's a certain amount of pressure you apply and poof, it's there.
Yep.
But with this one, it felt like a little more. And then after looking at it, I noticed
it's the first time it's the 2-seater design, right? So is that just due to this designer here that you had to do a slight variation of it? Okay.
And also with mine later, I kind of looked at it, and it was there was I don't know if it was during the molding process, but I did notice that the front half, the orange portion of the fuselage, is slightly warped, very slightly. Like the line doesn't line up completely along the end. So I'm guessing that's what it contributed to why it's not smoothly going back together. There's a little more effort. So it could be just my own or some other ones out there that have experienced that. So that's what I noticed. But
Where do you
overall,
put yours in your display case? Do you have it out and about?
oh no, it goes back into the fourth mode of Valkyrie called box mode.
Box mode. It's in box mode. Oh my goodness, man. I know.
I try and keep my displays not too cluttered, so the 1D got put back into its box because there's no room at the bottom.
I see. Well, that just means you need more display cases. So
I know, right? AKA space. I need to find a bigger place.
Space. That's true. You got the two, and those are the Yeti stands. Is that how?
Yep, those
you
are all
do
Yeti stands.
Got it. Cool. I like displays. You can tell I have a display case in my background too. But what I did, by the way, in case you ever wanted to do this, because you have Daytols back there, and I love your lighting display, is that I'll just make myself big. I combined two Daytols so they open out, and it actually gives me like, instead of just being able to do one per cube, I can do three in that two space. So you kind of like add that little extra space in between.
Nice.
And I did some shaving off the edges, so it just made my own the glass display case. It was one of like my first mods I did for displays back in 2010.
Yeah, I noticed that when when you started streaming, I wouldn't be paying. I would be looking at your display, and I noticed
like, how did he do that?
I'm like, wait a minute, because I'd seen that mod before, and I was like, did he do the double door DTOF mode? And I'm like,
double door DTOF. That's right. It was the cheapest glass display case you can get, $60 each. Just combine them together, take out a glass wall, and I just bolted them together. And they actually ended up making, and I'll just pan over to the side. The spare glass display cases, I actually just mounted them on the glass wall for my Daytona. Just became the shelves for my Transformer collection over there too. So I made good use of those display cases and made them into my toy room. So
you get the MacGyver award.
Yes, when you're low budget and you want something looking nice, but you got to have that display space, man. But your setup looks fantastic, and I'm slightly disappointed it didn't make your display case, but it's because you don't have a 148 section.
Yeah, because I try to keep it in scales. That for me, it's like having the 148 in there, and then they'll be like, oh, that plane is so much bigger than this one. It's like, oh, it's not. Then you have to explain things to people, right? So like, here they see everything at the same size, and they're like, oh, they're so cool.
Got it. That makes sense. And mostly fighter, except for the top shelf. And then the top shelf is in Baton Rouge. Yeah. Is that where your VF-1s are at the top?
There's two sets of VF-1s. So up here are the super TV versions.
Okay.
And then the ones down here are all the movie versions. So the movie versions are in fighter mode. The TV versions are in Batroid mode.
Fun,
so I try to make sure that each anime is represented here, except for Plus and Frontier, because I haven't had a chance to like redo stuff.
Alex almost looks like he's done with his transformation.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it fun? Do you enjoy transforming your toy?
You know, the more you try to rush it, the harder it is.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, I was gonna show what Brandon was talking about, but it's just...
You can actually just show where the two pieces fold together, and that kind of will represent where it's at.
Do you want me to put it on screen?
Man. It's these two pieces right here, right? Wait, where's my
bring your those two pieces and the way they kind of fold into one another.
But that's like when it goes in fighter mode.
Yeah, that whole area is the one that is a little tricky now because it's
when it goes up here.
Yeah,
I didn't have any problem with it right now, and I don't think I have that much problems with it.
Yeah, I think for yours, the mold thing, the mold issue might be the thing that happened with mine.
And what was the other one?
The other thing is basically the knee swivel, the rotation.
I have problems with that.
Yeah, that's just loose, but there's ways to fix that.
And then this thing is, I don't know if you. Well, let me get my. I didn't know about this until you told me about it.
Until I told you about it. Because on the regular release, it's fixed. With this one, it's foldable, which I wish they had done with every other one. But oh well.
I was complaining that it didn't have the cover, and then you're like, "No, there's a cover there. It's built in."
Nice.
Yeah. So.
But the one thing I like is that that they did is it doesn't have the hook from the Yamato Arcadia releases.
Oh yeah.
And at the time when these came out, I was really impressed with these 160s. I was like, oh, there's some good some printed art, like things like the numbers on the side, but it just didn't have that next level detail at first. And then you just see everything else they could print. And I remember taking my first 1J and actually trying to cut out the stickers and just put them on or like do decals. But I just love the fact that that's my favorite part of the Bandai's. It's just all the
you have to get the premium finish for the Yamato for the
premium
Arcadias
finish. Yes, I don't
Did
have.
Did they do a 1D
finishes.
premium finish?
Not that I know of.
Not yet.
I don't even think they reissued. I don't even think they reissued the 1D yet.
Did they? I don't know.
I don't know.
I forget.
I have to look. I don't think so.
So do you have Min-Mei in there? B?
In this one?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, check it out really quick and get compare it to, like, put it in the cockpit of the 148.
You guys are gonna talk me through transforming my toys live on stream.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna make sure it's like a bomb thing.
Is it the
make sure it doesn't explode.
blue wire or the white wire?
Cut the orange, not the tan. Here, let me.
I see.
You found it? It's right close to the neck, where the gray is, right here.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. We did it.
Edit back in.
All right. Look how easy that was. You could lift up your plates just by unclipping those two hooks there, and it lifts up. I told you the whole time that it does this, Exo. Come on. I know you were cheering me on. And all that effort, I don't even have the Min-Mei in here. Look.
Oh.
Edit
the whole thing out.
After this whole thing. Look, I have the Hikaru figure there. Oh, wait, no, it fell out. It's right here. Never mind. That's why she's here. She fell out. But there she is. There she blows. That's the 160.
Compare it to the pilot of the 148 first and put it next to each other. I'm sure people already saw this on Twitter or whatever, but let's feature it on our show.
Here we go. Do you want to make it big so you can see it? So here's the Hikaru.
That's what she said.
Here's the Hikaru 148 and here's the Hikaru 160 scale.
Yeah,
it's literally even smaller in terms of lengthwise. He's girthier. He's like he fills out more.
The DX is a better sculpt.
Yeah, the DX is a better sculpt.
But look at the head on the 160.
Yeah,
it's a lot bigger than the 148.
You guys see that? Yeah, there it is. So yeah, the head sculpt is this is the 160 and then this is the Hikaru. But yeah, there it is live. You can see the comparison from.
And then put Min-Mei next to him.
All right, and so this is Min-Mei next to the 148.
Right.
Scale. There they are. She could fit in here. She can.
Yeah.
She looks a little bit tiny though.
Yeah, she'll when I put her in
it's like a little child.
Yeah, with the way the stand is set up, she'll lean back, but if you have it flat, she'll fall forward and her head will smash against the back of the pilot.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a sculpt at the time for the 160 scales. But I really like the sculpts on the 148s. They look really good, very detailed.
Yeah, when I took the photos, I haven't had time to process those photos yet, but to get her to stay, to do the shots, I had to put blue tack on the bottom of it just so that it would stay in place.
Look at this 148 Min-Mei.
No, where'd you get that?
I don't know. It's pretty cool, huh? 160 versus 148. There.
So that one can't fit in the DX, right? It's too big.
The legs are too long to fit into it, but it does fit into the 148 Yamato. Okay.
Does it fit in the?
It fits in the original 148 for sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad.
Look at this guy. Here we can go. We can put a 148 Hikaru pilot into the 148. Shove it in there. Let's shove it in.
Wow.
Oh, almost.
If it was rubbery, it'd fit in there. Because I've done that with the regular
you might be able to fit. I think that.
You think so?
The gray HUD piece can pop off.
Oh yeah, it does.
It came off.
Yeah.
There you go. A new feature.
Oh, look at that.
But you can't close it.
Oh yeah, his head's too big. But there it is. Now at least you can see what 148 pilot should be.
Yeah.
So gets you thinking. The anime magic, man, it shrinks them once they get into the cockpit. That's part of that Micronian size chamber. VF-1Ds the VF-1s had it too. you know,
Cool.
make you smaller. What can you do? But here it is. I like it a lot. Pretty cool. Thank you for having me on, because this allows me to actually play with my toys.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's all of them right there.
I know. I have the whole spread, so this is cool. Now I just don't know where to put it, and then I have this.
And you actually do have
there's
the whole
too
spread,
many
because
1Ds.
now you have the Yamato.
Let's take a look at the Yamato one now. We have time.
Okay, we have time. All right, so
Right.
I kind of teased it earlier, but this is a custom Yamato 148 that started off as, I believe, a VF-1S that used Captain America's conversion kit to turn this into a VF-1D, and it was done by yours truly, Exo. Talk about this. Was this a hard kit to actually customize and work on?
No, actually, that was one of my fastest customs, so I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used car paint, so it's scratch proof.
Yeah, it feels amazing. Super nice.
It looks good.
And I love this feature.
Really good.
You probably have never seen this feature on a VF-1D, right? Like, look at the arm.
Arm blown off.
Sculpted, the arm blown off right there, which is
really you could cool replace it with the original arm.
Yeah, you did that. I actually have the original arm here, but I was like, this is such a cool feature. I'm gonna just display it with the arm off, anyways. And I have it in Gerwalk. And then the action pose. This is probably like my favorite part as well. Just the fact that you sculpted the Minmay pilot with the Hikaru flying out of it, replicating the scene.
That's hand sculpted. That's not 3D. That's before 3D printers were affordable.
Before
to
3D
me, anyways.
Prints. Yeah. I mean, that was amazing. This isn't the right gun, but I just had it there. But yeah, this is cool, man. I loved it. And so just displaying it, it's one of the few Valkyries that I actually have displayed in Gerwalk mode, because it's just, I think it makes so much sense to have this there. But this is so cool. I love this. This is really
cool. When I was doing it, it was Hikaru sitting down, and then Minmay was supposed to be like that, like hanging outside. And I kind of like vividly remember it from the cartoon, but then I started watching the anime just to get it right, and it's not in there. There's no scene where Hikaru is hanging on to Minmay to the side or something like that. Yeah.
So you made this up? This isn't in the actual
story? That part.
Oh, this part
accurate.
Yeah. But that's super cool. I was really impressed with it, and but yeah, this kit is one of the better conversion kits when we didn't think 2-seaters in this size could be done.
Oh my god! Yeah.
The like, is it ever gonna come out? Is Yamato ever gonna come out with a 2-seater? Were they gonna make 148 Elints and ostriches? But I don't know. Is there speculation time? You think now that they've done the 1D that they'll do a 148 Elint or ostrich? Or is that another topic for another day?
It feels like bad luck. Every time we say this is going to come out, the whole line just falls apart.
Yeah. But I mean, this was possible. You made it possible from the old 148 scale. But like, compare this to this Bandai, it's really good.
Bandai.
The Bandai.
The Bandai just feels so solid.
Yes, solid.
But the Yamatos felt like that when we first got it. It was just like, oh, this toy is like top notch, you know.
It's the progression of things. It always the new. Like, this is awesome.
Because we would call everything the 148 version of, like when Optimus Prime came out, MP1. We were saying that was the 148 of Transformers. And then the He-Man Classic came out. We were saying, oh, those are the 148 versions of the He-Man toys. It was just like the standard of upgrading your toys from childhood.
Overall, it's really nice. But I would be curious to see if they were to do the ostrich, because the seating arrangement is slightly different on the ostrich's cockpit.
Yeah.
The rear seat is higher, so I'm curious to see how they would do that. Or would they just cheese out and just use this and slap some parts? Either way, I'd be buying it anyway.
Well, they did it for Yamato, right? They did the higher seating,
did.
like a bubbly.
Slightly.
Yeah, they did it.
I'm trying to think back,
it's doable.
Because when I bought the 1D, it was part of a package deal. I think I told you, Alex, where I bought the ostrich and the 1D. I was like, well, I really want ostrich, but you're going to put them all together, so I'll just buy both.
Cool.
Yeah, I wonder if like since the big complaint on the Yamato original one was that just it was such an elongated nose cone, right? So
Mhm.
that made bigger space for the cockpit for the size of the figures. And so I guess the
I think that
compromise
was it.
on the Bandai, right, is that if it's a shorter nose cone, you have to have a smaller cockpit because it looks more in
Mhm.
scale in the other modes.
Hmm.
But that's probably, I mean, just looking at them side by side, right? Just cockpit wise,
Mhm.
that's where the concessions were made from this to this one, is that you
Mhm.
can't have it as big if you're going to have a shorter nose cone, which looks better in the other modes when you have your Batroid mode.
Definitely.
So
And
you don't
one
have that
thing,
really big long schlong.
yeah, another thing I remember was with the Yamato 1D, with the Yamato 1D, there was
Mhm.
it came with a part that you could attach to, and correct me if I'm wrong here, where you could
This one?
totally pull off the front nose, the whole front
Yeah.
fuselage, and it had a part that you could attach to Roy's arm,
For the arm?
forearm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hoping they could do that with the 148 because that would be really
Yeah.
cool. But
Me too.
Oh, they
yeah,
didn't do that? Oh, I
no,
didn't
they
No,
know.
you
didn't.
can't take off
I
the
was
cockpit.
I was gonna try pulling it
Yeah,
off right now. I'm glad you guys told me. I'd be like,
Well, try it
"Ah,"
just to make sure.
just try it, just
it
like
can
pull it
it'll do.
out, just like snap it off.
That's a while I was transforming the Bondi 1D, I was looking at it to make sure. I wonder if it can come off, and
Mhm.
then nope. Well, I couldn't
Does
tell
not.
if it could, but I didn't want to try.
Yeah. I mean, but how often are you displaying it as like a side thing with the Roy, right? So while it was a cool feature just to have, like how many in practicality actually displayed it and then had their half empty VF1 sitting away or the
Yeah,
D standing on the
but
side?
Yeah.
that's the beauty of photography. I can take a picture of it, and it will
And
be
then
immortalized, and
that's
that's what I
true.
call my virtual collection. So I don't even need to look at my toys. I can just go to my Flickr page and just be like, oh yeah, this is how it looks.
That's how it is. But then you get to touch and play. But yeah, I only play with them when Alex asks me to because he likes me playing with my toys. But thanks for having me.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always awesome. And also gives me a chance to stare at the helmets in the background.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's close it off. Do you guys want to say anything else about the 1D before we tie it
Shut it
up?
down.
Sure.
That's it.
Go ahead.
I absolutely am a fan of the DX line in general. So it's a wonderful addition to my 1D collection. I have every single 1D I think out that I own now at the moment. I don't think I have
Mhm.
I had a 155 1D custom, but other than that,
Mhm.
I think that's it. Yeah, it looks.
You don't have one of those SD ones from Toynami? Did they even have that?
I
Not
do.
Toynami.
Yeah.
Kids Concept.
No, it's the Toynami one.
Oh, they have a Toynami one. Oh well, that's all the time that we have.
Toonami did a Comic-Con exclusive of a 1D that had fast packs.
And only one seat, right?
Yeah. All right, here it is. This little blasphemous thing that has already fallen apart, but this is the Toynami 1D version of it where the arms fell apart and it had a 1D style backpack on it, but you can see it's half fallen apart and I haven't paid much attention to it. But there's not even any detail in the cockpit at all.
That's the battle damage version.
Battle damage 100 Yamato. So yes, this is my complete 1D collection.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, you can edit that part out if you want to, but
that's fine.
No, it's there. But there it is, my 1D collection. All right, thanks for having me, Brandon. Any last thoughts on the 1D?
Yeah, overall, it's a 1D. It's all right. No, I'm just kidding. No,
it's 1D awesome.
No, it was really nice. It was cool. I really like it. It falls in line with all the other DXs, and overall, great toy. So, yeah, another one. Now let's just move on from the D. Let's get over to the next one. Let's finish up.
We'll wait for the pre-order. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for coming for the being guests on the first Toy Brigade show. I almost said the other show again, but awesome. I'll be looking forward to the next one.
That's good.
Yep.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.